Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com and welcome to my stamp studio. In this video, I wanted to show you how I took some scraps of designer paper and came up with a card design to fit the scraps. So let me just tell you what I started with. This is from the Take to the Sky Designer Series paper collection, and I had this piece cut. It's, I believe, like 3.5 by 5.5. And then this one was cut 3 inches wide, and I decided to cut it at 1.5. And then I had this little strip here of this Night of Navy. So I looked at the 3 colors. I decided to go ahead and use a Night of Navy base. And so I just started playing with the different pieces of designer paper on the card. So I looked at this and I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this? Okay. And I went through my other scraps and I found this piece, which in this collection of papers, there are some 3x4 elements, panels that you can use as an element on a card. There are also some tag shaped elements that you can use, but this one stood out to me, this map, and I liked it because it would go along with my check here in copper. What is this? Copper clay. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this apart, and I'm going to put it in my trimmer and get that lined up. That's on the 3-inch mark there, and cut that apart. Okay. So then I played with orientation, and I decided to go with a landscape card and center this piece here. I didn't want to use the planes. Okay, I knew I wanted to use this side because it was like going to be my background. And so I put this strip across the front here, and then I thought, okay, what's that going to do? So I put this on top, and this strip was a little too small. So I just kind of did away with that. And that was just kind of getting lost in the 3 different designer papers together. So I thought, well, I could layer behind with layer of cardstock, but then I decided against that, and I thought, how am I going to make that pop? And then I went back to an oldie but goodie technique. I'm getting my copper clay ink and a sponge dauber, and I am just going to sponge around the edges, not go crazy, just get it where it's darker, and it's going to make it stand out from the layer behind it. So this is a really easy way to use, like when you have panels or just cut strips and pieces of designer paper, and you don't want to put a matte layer of cardstock behind it. You're wanting to keep it more simple. This is the ticket right here, let me tell you. Okay, I was so pleased with how it turned out. And I went ahead and decided to do this one as well. And so I'm going to go around here. And I know you might think that I would do the other piece too, but I decided not to because it was a lighter color set off against the background of that Night of Navy card base. And the predominant color here is boho blue. So I decided just to stick with the copper clay pieces. And I did go around one time and I just barely got the edge, and then I decided to go back around and get it a little darker and a little bit more onto the pattern, but not distressed looking, so to speak. Okay, so I have that, and then I started playing with this again. I decided, okay, I'm going to put that in the center. I'm going to line this up. And at first it was kind of troubling me that I had copper clay here and copper clay here, but the patterns are so different, and this map really stands out, so I thought that's going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and layer these pieces on. And I don't have this Adventures Sky. Adventures in the Sky. I forget what the bundle is called, but it's the one with the planes and the clouds. I don't have that stamp set, so I decided to just use a sentiment on this and keep it very simple. So now I'm going to go across. I'm trying to get it equidistant from each side. You see how there's just a little space showing there? I debated whether or not to banner cut the ends, but I decided to keep it all straight cuts, okay? So I'm trying to center that. And then this one is going to go here. Let's go ahead and put that on. So this card is going to be great for mailing because there's not a lot of bulk and I don't add much more to it. I'm just going to add a simple sentiment. So if you were cutting a piece of designer paper to use that you wanted to be your focal point, even if it's not a panel, you could use a floral piece, or if you had a floral collection, just something that really stands out a little bit from the back, okay? You could just cut it 3 by 4, and I'll put the measurements up on the blog for this card so that you can copy it. But I was really pleased with the results. So I started going through my sentiments and not really knowing which I was going to use, and I decided to use just a very simple sentiment from this Quiet Reflection set. So initially I had thought I'd stamp that and put that in the middle instead of the map, but I didn't like that at all. So I'm going to use this God is Our Refuge and Strength, Psalm 46:1, and I looked at it. I thought, okay, I can cut a 1/2-inch strip of basic white cardstock and see how that goes. And then I thought, let me look at my dies. So I got my stylish labels out, okay, and I was thinking about these banner pieces, and I pulled this one out, and sure enough, it was just the right size. So let me grab, I've already cut one out, okay, and I'm going to put that on here. So let me go ahead and ink this up. I'm going to stay with the same ink, God is Our Refuge and Strength, in copper clay, and then I'm just going to stamp that right in the center. You can see it's just the perfect size for this, okay. That's a little off center, but you know what? It's okay. Okay, so I decided to put it right there. And you know what? That's all I did to this card. I didn't add anything else. I thought it had the perfect message. Would be great for card ministry for church if you did that at your church. And also, remember this little piece here? I'm going to put this layer on the inside, and I decided to just use this as a border. So let me just put some glue right here. It's a little long, so all I'm going to have to do here is turn it over and trim the ends. And then let's put it on the inside. And this is how you can take your scraps, cut them down a little bit if you need to fit on your card front, and just start layering them up. If you're using pieces that are from the same designer paper collection, you're going to find some coordinating and very complementary prints that will go together just fine. So I was just really pleased with this. I'm excited to try to use some of the other panels on cards. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, inspiring you to create, share, and make a difference. Take care. Bye-bye.